Thank you for watching. Fade to Freedom Community Church, where it's all about the kingdom.
When we refuse to occupy a position which the grace of God has assigned us because of our judgment, because the way we feel, feeling inadequate, feeling that we don't possess certain virtues and qualifications, it can cause us to anger the Lord. See, everybody preaches, love. And yes, the Lord loves you. Yes, he does. He does. But we also have an assignment. And as you can see, the Lord doesn't always go after the best in speech. He doesn't always go after the greatest. He goes after the one that he sees fit for. And then it's us that says we're not capable. We don't think we have the eloquence. We don't think we have, and I've been guilty of it too. But I'm learning to lean and depend on the Lord, and I'm learning to open my mouth and say what he says. Everybody has their cup of tea. Don't judge yourself by somebody else's cup of tea. You do what God says do, and he'll teach you how to make your own tea. You can't be afraid to use what you have. Because when we refuse to occupy a position which the grace of God has assigned us, we can be in a lot of trouble. I preached the sermon. You are qualified. You qualify. Just believe it. Just believe it. My third point that we getting out of here. Don't be afraid of the signs. A staff, he replied. The Lord said, throw it on the ground. Moses threw this staff on the ground and it became a snake. And he ran from it. How many of us run from our gifts? Okay, let me keep going. And then the Lord said to him, reach out your hand and take it by the tail. So Moses reached out and took hold of the snake, and it turned back into the staff in his hand. This, said the Lord, is so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has appeared to you. Then the Lord said, put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand into his cloak, and when he took it out, the skin was leprous, and it became white as snow. Now put it back in the cloak, the Lord said. And so Moses, he did that. He put it back, and when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his flesh. It is very important that we listen to God because he will give us the instructions we need to show others that we are to minister to. And to show others, period, that if he says do it, it must be done. They don't have to believe you. If the Lord says do it, and he tells you to do it, it must be done. So type in the chat, if the Lord tells me to do something, from here on out, I'm going to do it. Because watch this. Then the Lord said, if they do not believe you or pay attention to the first sign, they may believe the second. But if they do not believe these two signs or listen to you, take some water from the Nile and pour it on the dry ground. The water you take from the river will become blood on the ground. The sign will show you everything you need to know. God will send you signs. He will send the signs through you. Back to the text, the intent of the first sign was to empower Moses to show forth a sign easily, readily, without preparation that represented a power to speak for itself and convince that God is in control. I come to tell you, God is in control. The intent of the second sign was to show Moses the ability to produce and cure in a moment of time. Moses up here worried about his elegance of speech, and he has three signs. First sign to show that he's readily, without preparation, that power that speaks for itself. Then the second sign is to show Moses the ability to produce and cure in a moment's time. The one that is not elegant in speech has these signs. So you got to understand that the Egyptians, they were afraid of leprosy, declaring to their own account of the exodus that drove the Israelites out of their country because of being afflicted with this disease. The ability to cure in a moment's notice would show that God is in control. The ability for you to use your gift and don't be afraid will show everyone that God is in control. The intent of the third sign was the third sign that was involving the blood was poured on the ground to symbolize the war that he would face. Water turning into blood would symbolize peace into war, prosperity into ruin, and the destruction of Pharaoh's host in the Red Sea. The third sign, which should have warned Pharaoh of the terrible results that would follow his resistance to God's will, as proclaimed by Moses. This text, something that stuck out. The Lord will allow you and your gift to teach you while teaching others.
Sing along, glory to your name. Come on, let's feel this atmosphere. Sing glory to your name. Glory to your name. Glory to your name. Forever you are sing, worship and adore. And after surrender, we bow ourselves before you. That is due to
Thank you for watching. Fade to Freedom Community Church, where it's all about the kingdom.